In the grand halls of power, in the capital so mighty, a tale takes shape, illuminating a reality not so bright. See. A hefty sum of $1.3 billion, no small change indeed. Dispatched to China and Russia, for what? Let's take heed. A research galore, some rather queer, some straight. In the past 5 years, the U.S. didn't hesitate. According to a certain Iowa Republican, Joni Ernst, and a watchdog group, open the books, ready to burst. Whisked away was $2 million, to a lab in Wuhan town. Studying bat coronaviruses, with a global renown. More than previously reported, this unsettling fact ruffles the feathers in Washington, exacts a pact. It is gravely concerning, says our Republican friend. Millions sent to Russia and China, on pointless projects we spend. Like cat experiments and gender equality, a mixed bag of pursuits. The ledger of government spending, it disputes. Ernst with a mission, a novel act in sight. The Tracking Receipts to Adversarial Countries for Knowledge of Spending Act, just right. A requirement it imposes, on the funding flow. To China and Russia, everything we need to know. A bounty of $490 million, to Chinese entities. And $870 million to Russians, in varieties. A Defense Department grant, $51.6 million tall. Resulted in $6 million to a Chinese tech firm's call. For the U.S. military, they delivered software. While questions about funding transparency fill the air. The Wuhan lab, remember that name, receives $2 million in research funding, in this game. Accused by some of sparking the COVID-19 outbreak. A pandemic that left the world in its wake. From the U.S. Agency for International Development, $1.1 million in tow. And $600,000 from the National Institutes of Health, in this spending flow. So here we are, in this tale of billion-dollar trails. Of government spending, in unprecedented scales. If you seek more stories, subscribe without fail. For narratives, poetic, humorous, and tales beyond the pale.